then, middle of the day, you can take a nap. Sans finds sleep whenever he is able to, but because he's constantly on and off and on and off, he feels so fatigued that he just can't keep up with everyday activity. And those are just a broad stroke of things that could affect someone with major depression. The Sleep Foundation actually outlines many variants on each of these issues and adds a few lesser considered ones. But now it is also heavily implied that Sans has guilt over something. Perhaps the incident with Gaster. It is the dialogue of the Lost Soul version of Sans that hammers it home, though. You'll never see him again. It could also be that Sans is one of the very few people who seems to be able to see all of the timelines and game resets. Maybe this is why he has feelings of futility, and why he just sits by while the genocidal path takes place. And all the while, this gives him a feeling of guilt. But we'll get right back to this later. For now, though, let's look at another aspect of Sans' personality. His affinity for comedy. Sans wants to make people laugh and enjoy the life or lives that he can't. Humor has been well known as a shield against harsh realities. In fact, the term gallows humor describes just that. Sans is using something that we, as humans, use to deal with harsh anxiety. Sans' very design is even used to reflect his emotional state. His face, while wearing a skeletal grin, also resembles a mask. A mask to hide his true feelings. We all wear metaphorical masks from time to time, and Sans is no different. Also, notably, he wears the color blue, which is a color often used, as many people know, as a means of expressing sadness, depression. You feel the blues. And finally, even his undead appearance could speak to his feeling of despair as well, since often, death is used as an emotional metaphor for depression. More tangibly, it represents a person that wants to be dead, but is still just shambling around, living life like a zombie. Morbid as it is, some people go through with that. But before we get any deeper into that, let's look at the importance of Sans' relationship with his brother, Papyrus. To us, it seems Papyrus is an oblivious failure at catching humans, who also happens to be obsessed with spaghetti.
Lots of spaghetti!
And while there is much more to his character than that, the real importance is that he is Sans' anchor. Papyrus is the reason Sans is sticking around, because he cares so much for his brother that he can't completely detach from his life. Papyrus is the glue that binds Sans to the path he's on, and one of the reasons he looks at his situation the way he does. Another important character in understanding Sans is Toriel. She presents a similar anchor weight, as she and Sans are in a deep bond. So much so that he attempts to keep a promise for her. This is important because Sans typically is not the type to keep promises. While Papyrus is the strongest bond for Sans, Toriel is another string attaching him to the protagonistic ideals he holds.